Hello guys, welcome again to the channel. This is Felipe Coelho, and today we are doing the third step of the series Bebop in 4 steps. This step consists in approaching several target tones, but still within just one chord. On the previous step, we approached each target tone in an isolated way, one at a time. Now we're going to work with more of them, and that also opens the door for us to use arpeggios, which is like playing target tones just without the approach, just straight up to the target tone. So that makes it obvious that in order for you to be able to play bebop well, you have to have mastered the arpeggios of each chord. So that goes intrinsic. You just have to practice the arpeggios of each chord and study how to play them with flow, and also be able to approach the chord tones as we explained in the previous video. So what I'm going to do in this step is simply show you a few examples and a few patterns that you can use in order to approach more than one chord tone at a time. So this tune that we were just playing here was Cherokee, and it's in B flat. So let's use the B flat chord as a starting point. Here is a few patterns that I'd like to show you. The first one is a simple encapsulation. It goes like this. You go upper neighbor, target, leading tone, target, and then you take that onto the other target tones. You can also do a slur like this. Then you can do a slur and what I call an answer, which is done by an arpeggio, like a response with other chord tones like this. And then you can take it up. Okay, here is another phrase that I like. Let's look at an arpeggio here. So how about something like this? What I'm doing here is approaching by leading tone, and then the arpeggio, 1, 3, 5, and then here I'm going to encapsulate the 6th, considering a 6th like a chord tone within the B major. The 6th is a very welcome chord tone. I believe I said this in the previous video. So I'm approaching the tonic by step, by a leading tone, doing an arpeggio, and then I'm using this major 7 to encapsulate the 6th, and then I'm doing another arpeggio. So taking the same phrase up an octave. It's a great little bebop phrase. Yeah. Okay. How about another little phrase here? That's a great little phrase. So it starts with a third. That goes self-explained. It's a chord tone. And then as an encapsulation of the tonic. So as I said, these are all examples of what I've explained before. We're always aiming for target tones. If not playing them straight up, then approaching them using their neighbors. So here is third, then approaching the tonic by leading tone, up, upper neighbor. And now here, this is a very usual little run. You're just doing chord tones, 3rd, 5th, 7th. So that goes self-explained, right? And then we go approaching the 5th by upper neighbor, 6, 5. And then now I'm going to approach the 3rd by doing upper neighbor, and then chromatically approach from below. So I get this. And I could finish with a tonic. So. Here's another phrase that you can do. For example, you can, over a dominant chord, do a chromatic to the 7th, and then respond with a 9th. And then this actually goes a little bit outside of the rule. I never really explained using a 9th like that without the resolution. But it can be considered a slightly modal approach where the 9th is a very welcome tone. So you have this, And then you just repeat that same thing on another place lower where you can have a chromatic between two notes, so between the 6 and 5. And then I'm going to answer with the 7th. And now where do I have another chromatic, another two notes that are a whole tone apart? So I have the 3rd and the 9th, responded by the 5th. And then start again from the tonic to the 7th, respond with the 9th. So the phrase goes forever. You could keep going, right? So that's the phrase. Another phrase, I've explained this in other videos, but this arpeggio is very welcome to do. It's 1, 2, 3, 5. So I do. But you can also connect these two notes, the 2 and the 3rd, chromatically like this. So again. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the most fun thing about all this is that you can actually bend all these phrases. You can turn them around by starting the entire phrase on a different part of the beat. And still, it's going to work. It's just going to sound different. It's going to be like a different phrase, but it works because all the tones are being resolved. So a nice example of that could be, for example, a phrase like this in B flat. How about? So I have approach to the 3rd. When I get to the 3rd, I arpeggiate, stack thirds, and then encapsulate the tonic. 9, 7, 1, and respond with the 5th. Very basic, following all the rules that I have explained so far. But what I want to show you is to turn this around like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So see, the phrase starts on a downbeat. Now I'm going to start on the upbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The phrase sounds different because before it was ba ba da dum. Now it is ba da ba dum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You can even turn it into more phrases by not just starting on the downbeat or upbeat, but on the 2nd 16th, 3rd 16th, or 4th 16th note. Then one phrase can become 3 other phrases, like this, on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now on the 2nd 16th note, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now on the 3rd 16th note, which is upbeat, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. And now on the 4th 16th note, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now since this is on the 4th 16th note, the downbeat goes here. And this is a delayed resolution. Very delayed. It's delayed by half a beat. Right? But still the ear picks it up. Because that line ended right there. And then you go for the chord tones. Another thing you can do that's very cool, very beboppy, is respond with a lower note that goes, plays between itself and the leading tone, like this. Something like that. So I did leading tone on the same note, leading tone, and then respond from above. And then I do a leading tone here. And then. So it's an endless array of possibilities, and it's something that you can have a lot of fun with. So I hope you are taking something out of these lessons, and I'll meet you at the 4th step, where we're going to talk about chord progressions and how to tie different chords into the same phrase. So stay tuned for more. Thank you.